This needs to be cleaned out. It's got a lot of dust and it's affecting the pots and it's affecting the buttons, and it's gotten to the point where it's basically unusable. So what I'm going to do is show you the tools that I'm going to be using on this particular mixer to remove all the pots and the hardware that's on the front face here. First of all, you're going to need the two Phillips screwdrivers here, a larger one and a smaller one, 1/2 inch socket here, and this is going to be to remove those flat nuts that are on the 1/4 inch jacks. Levering tool here, this is what I use for my boombox repairs and also for soldering assisting, and this has a little levering part at one end here, which is perfect for lifting up those pots. And then to remove the pots further, if I still can't get them off, I'm going to use this little rounded needle set of pliers here. Here's a 1.5mm Allen key. This is to remove those small little Allen key bolts that are on there, which are nasty little things. You have to be very careful with these. If you round these Allen keys, and it's a real nightmare to get them out. You'll have to get the Dremel and just grind the top there so you can get a blade screwdriver and something. I really hate these small types of Allen keys. When we put them back in, I'm going to put them in very lightly. So the first thing I need to do here is I'm going to remove these screws here at the side. Next thing I'm going to do is remove those 6 Phillips screws at the back here. Another cool thing I just noticed too is it actually has the little microphone stand connection here, so you mount this mixer on a stand. So once you've got those back screws out, you should be able to just lift this up from the bottom here. Let's remove that and have a look at the boards here. Okay, so looking at the back of the boards here, some super crazy connections that they've got from this top board here to this lower board. And you can see that when they put this board on here, you can see the angles that the wire has come on here. It's almost touching that particular wire there. And also this one here is really close. So I'll just zoom in here so you can see what I'm talking about here. Just have a look at this little wire here. This one's super close. If you just come over, just going to come over just a little bit further over here, and you can see there's another one. Turn the board over. I'm going to start with the pots first, and what I do here is just a little levering tool, and we're just going to pop these out like this. So what I would suggest doing here is taking a picture of your mixer just on the front face here, and that way when you put everything back together, you know exactly where all those pots go. After you've taken all the pots off, get a 1/2 inch socket, and we're going to remove all those flat nuts around the 1/4 inch jacks. So last thing I need to do is just remove those Phillips head screws that are at the top to hold in the XLR connectors, and then we should be able to remove the front face. So we've got those Phillips screws out. We should be able to remove this front face here, and we should be able to lift this straight up, and we've got access to underneath the front panel. So I'm going to use a little bit of this electronic cleaning solvent here, and I'm going to spray down into the gaps there, and just press this a couple of times, and then I'm going to hit it again, and then just give it a quick blowout. Flushes all the dust down to the bottom of the button there, and then when you blow it out, just removes all that dust. I think I'm just going to go and do all these buttons. There's not that many here. Also, when you are using these cleaning solvent, if it's deoxit or if it's this stuff, spray on the left side and also on the bottom side and also on the top side, just to make sure that the solvent gets down on both sides and removes that dust. Now, a good indication if your button is pushing down and getting stuck or not coming up, doesn't click properly, that means that there's gunk stuck down inside. So keep spraying the solvent on there until the button is clicky and has no problem coming up and going down. So that's really important. So I've cleaned out those buttons. Next thing we want to do here is get in these little potentiometer pots. These two in particular are really bad. Use my little airbrush cleaning tool to spray some IPA, and I'm just going to go around all of these bases here. It does accumulate around the outside edge. So I've gone through all these potentiometer pots and put in the cleaning solvent, spray down into this shaft here, and also I'm going to spray inside here, also if I can on the sides here as well. You'll notice when you move these potentiometer pots now that it'll be nice and smooth, whereas before it's kind of it was very hard. But have a look at the amount of dirt that was at the bottom of the potentiometer pot. Dust is going down the shaft, and it's also getting in underneath here as well. So you want to basically clean that whole pot area out. Last thing I'm going to do here is clean out some of these jacks, especially the RCA jacks. They get a lot of dust in there, and the 1/4 inch jacks. And what I'm going to use here is these little airbrush cleaning tools. I just spray some 99% IPA all along this brush section here, and then I just insert it inside. And this particular board, everything looks really nice, so I think I'm going to put all this back together. And last thing I'm going to do here is just give this face a bit of a clean. I'm just going to use a little bit of IPA. Now, do not use 100% IPA on this panel because you can remove the writing on here. So I suggest if you're going to use anything, maybe just soapy water can do what I'm doing. Just use a small percentage of IPA. So that's it pretty much, a quick cleanup of the mixer. You can do this probably in about an hour. Like I said, every 6 months or so you'll probably want to give it a clean out. Anyhow, so I hope you've got something out of this video, and hopefully it helps you out in cleaning your own mixers. Throw it in the comments if you've got ways that you like to clean your mixer out. And thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next project.